Hello everyone, Dr. Fink here. Today we'll talk about, is stacking several steroids better or increasing one single steroid better? Quick disclaimer, this is not medical advice, this is entertainment only, and I do not recommend anyone to take anabolic steroids. So the big question here is, let's say somebody took his first steroid cycle of 250 milligrams testosterone per week, and 6 months later he wants to start a second cycle, and he's considering 500 milligrams of testosterone per week versus 250 milligrams of testosterone plus 250 milligrams of Primobolan or Nandrolone. Which one will be better for muscle hypertrophy? Which one will be more efficient? Which one will be more safe? All right. So let's first consider what these steroids do inside of our body. So we have here our cell, and we have, let's say, testosterone, and testosterone will come inside of the cell and bind to a so-called androgen receptor. And this androgen receptor will travel inside of the nucleus of the cell. Okay, so here we're in the nucleus where our genetic information is located, our DNA. And this testosterone androgen receptor complex will now come inside of the nucleus and alterate, change the way we are translating the DNA and increase, for example, muscle hypertrophy, satellite cell, etc., etc. Okay, so this is why anabolic steroids are so powerful. They directly change the way we translate our DNA and amplify the translation of muscle building genes. All right. So let's see what would happen with Primobolan, for example. A Primobolan would do exactly the same. It will also bind to an androgen receptor and go inside of the nucleus and alter the way our DNA is transcribed. So what is the difference between testosterone and Primobolan, since both are bound to the androgen receptor? Inside the nucleus, we have so-called coactivators. Coactivators. And those are little molecules that will alter the way these genes are translated. They can, for example, amplify muscle hypertrophy, they can amplify different functions, and depending on the steroid and androgen receptor complex, these coactivators may be different, and they activate different spots on our DNA and leading to different results. Okay, so until here, where the steroid binds to the androgen receptor and is translocated inside of the nucleus, the pathway is the same. But then when we have our coactivators, this is where the big change happens. This is where the big difference is. Depending on the anabolic steroid, there are different coactivators that will be activated, and this will impact our DNA translation differently. That's why these different steroids will lead to different effects. So is it better to increase testosterone, or is it better to add another steroid? Well, the answer is it depends on each individual and what your goals are. Also, increasing one steroid might increase the side effect of this specific steroid. Let's say we increase testosterone too much, then the androgenic side effects might overwhelm the benefits we get from an increase in testosterone. And in this case, it might be better to switch to another steroid such as Primobolan or Nandrolone that will not have such effects on the androgenic properties. And this is all due to these coactivators. So it is genetically, everybody is different, how we react to each steroid, And it is not set in stone that we can say, okay, you increase testosterone till 750 and then you do this and that. No, everybody is different and reacts differently. So it's a trial and error. We have to understand for ourselves which compounds work and which side effects we develop, which benefits we get from those. But again, the big difference is here in the coactivators, and depending on each steroids, those are different and those will lead to different results. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.